Then, since it's 1 o'clock and we have everybody here, I'll go ahead and open the meeting. Good afternoon. This is the May 12th, 2021 meeting of the Landmark Preservation Commission. I'll call this meeting to order. Let's start with introductions of the commissioners. And since I'm already chatting, I'll start. My name's Kelly Wemple. I'm an architect and I'm nominated by the American Institute of Architects. So next up we have Brad.
Hi, I'm Brad Gassman. I'm an architect nominated by History Colorado.
Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin Hummel. I'm a landscape architect and I was nominated by the American Society of Landscape Architects.
Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie Johnson. I'm a historic preservation project manager and I was nominated from the community at large.
Gary.
Hi, I'm Gary Petrie. I'm an architect. I was nominated by the Denver Planning. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Planning board.
Denver Planning Board.
Erica.
I'm Erica Warzel. I'm an architectural historian and preservation consultant and an at-large member.
Anne.
Hi, I'm Ann Wattenberg. I'm an architect nominated by the American Institute of Architects.
Thank you. And Jen, can you introduce yourself?
Yep, if Zoom lets me. I'm Jen Capetto. I'm landmark preservation staff.
Great. All right. So since this is a special meeting that we've called today, let's see, we don't have any meeting records or consent agenda, but we do reserve time at the beginning of every landmark preservation meeting for public comments. Now, this is for general, for preservation matters in general. It's not about the hearing that is on today's agenda. We'll have a separate public comment period for that later. So is there anyone on the call who has a public comment about preservation matters in general? And how we do this is if you've joined via computer, then you can use the hand raise function in Zoom. I believe it should be along the bottom of your screen. And if you've joined us by phone, please email landmark@denvergov.org. Had to make sure I had that right. And let us know what your phone number is and what you'd like to speak on.
It looks like we have one hand raised. So okay. Let me, sorry, I'm just trying to get to the 2-minute timer. And Heather Noyes, I am going to, you can unmute yourself whenever you are ready.
And please start with your name and address for the record.
Great, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Heather Noyes and I live at 4492 Xavier Street in Northwest Denver. And I'm a landscape architect and I'm also a board member of Historic Denver. And I am observing this meeting today and I just wanted to introduce myself. I've never been to or participated in a landmarks meeting, but my work with the City and County of Denver often intersects with landmark staff. And so I just wanted to say hi and let you guys know why I'm here. I'm observing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Heather. Are there any other public comments? No?
It looks like we, I'm muted. Nope, am I muted? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it's telling me I'm muted. So it looked like Esther had her hand up, but maybe it is down because this is just about general questions and not about this project. So Esther, if you want to raise your hand because you want to do general public comment, happy to call on you.
If it's about the hearing, then you can wait a minute.
Okay. No hand raised.
Okay. All right. So I believe we need to, do we need to make a motion to move a discussion item in front of the public hearing?
Well, Adam, we could use some help on this. What?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you need to have a motion because I think what you're going to talk about is a request for an extension of time and when that would need to be acted upon, and then what would need to be done then in terms of this public hearing, correct?
So, okay, great. So Kara, do you want to, or Jen, do one of you want to maybe just briefly summarize why we're looking to do an extension on this?
I'm gonna let, yeah, Kara, cover that.
Yes. So Kara Hahn with Landmark Preservation Commission, or Landmark Preservation staff, sorry, my day has been a little crazy. Both the applicants and the property owners for this particular case have been working with Steve Charbonneau through a facilitated stakeholder meeting. We had initially not been able to come to a compromise, but with further discussion late last night and this morning, both the applicants and the owners have emailed me, and I've spoken with both representatives for both sides, that they would like to extend the deadline because there's typically a 90-day deadline in order to hear owner opposed cases. They would like to extend that deadline so as to continue discussions for a compromise. There's belief that they can reach a compromise between preserving part of the building while also allowing the property owner to develop it and not lose money on the deal. And so they believe that there's a compromise that can be made. So we were looking at ways to extend the deadline. And I think that there's just some options with, sorry, my computer screen changed, so I don't know if we're seeing everybody now. So we're looking at like, what are the options that are allowed to us under the LPC bylaws in order to extend the deadline? To the owners and applicants who I believe are still on the line, I had hoped that we were able to do that in this meeting, and that's the information I had conveyed to you this morning, that I thought we could extend the deadline and do it in this meeting. After further internal discussions, that may not be entirely possible today, and so that's why we're kind of having this informal discussion here to find out what's the best method possible to achieve that win-win solution and still conform with the LPC bylaws.
So Adam, maybe if you could give us some guidance as to whether we can make a motion to postpone or extend the deadline to a date certain, or if there's something else that we need to do if that direction doesn't meet our bylaws. Could you maybe advise us?
Of course. So at this meeting today, you could not make a motion to extend the timelines. The reason being is that would be an official act of the commission, and that was not noticed on the agenda for this meeting. What could happen is this meeting, the public hearing could be continued to a later date, and then another meeting, potentially even an emergency meeting according to your bylaws, could be set up for the sole purpose of acting upon an extension of those deadlines. But at this meeting, just based on what the bylaws state, you could not make that decision. That would have needed to be put on the agenda 5 days ago, or to meet the 5-day deadline.
So we could continue the public hearing to a date certain, and then Kara, could we get an extension on the agenda for the next meeting, or would that not meet the timeline?
I'm going to ask Adam a clarifying question.
Okay.
I believe we could put it on the agenda for the May 18th meeting. However, because the May 18th meeting is a Jewish holiday where the applicants could not attend, if would the applicants need to be present for that with the email that they've sent, or would we need a letter with their signatures that makes the request to extend the deadline, and then LPC could vote on it but have the letter from the applicant saying they would request it because they would be unable to attend the May 18th meeting?
let me look at the ordinance really quick. No, just looking at the ordinance, I think the applicants would not have to be, or the owners applicants would not have to be present. They could submit something in writing that would constitute their consent to an extension of time. I think whatever was submitted in writing, though, would have to be signed by all of the designation applicants, and it would have to be specific onto what the extension of time frame they are agreeing to. It couldn't just be open-ended, right? Because everyone has to agree to, 90 days, 100 days, something like that.
So what we currently have, so both the owners and the owners' representatives and the applicants have both sent emails to me requesting to extend the 90-day deadline to October 8th. Would that be sufficient if they then signed that letter for me? And we had a signed letter. And sorry, everyone else, for sort of the like behind the scenes stuff that we have these discussions, not normally in a public hearing or in a public meeting.
So again, they could submit something in writing from all three applicants. It just has to be specific to the time frame they're asking for.
Okay, thank you.
And in terms of noticing, Kelly, since that was another part of your question, the agendas are set and posted a week in advance, but our bylaws say that it might be the ordinance. Some legal document says that you can make changes up until 5 days before the agenda. So that would be tomorrow. So we can put it on the May 18th as long as the letter is signed and received before May 18th from both, or from whoever is not there in person.
Okay. And for us to make a continuation or continuance for this hearing today, do we have to go through the staff presentation, the applicant presentation, and the owner presentation? Or since the owners and applicants have already agreed upon this, can we make a motion without the presentations?
No, you do not have to hear the presentations. You would have to open the public hearing, however,
Okay.
because the ordinance does give you authority to continue the public hearing. So it'd have to be opened, and then you all could have discussions on when that public hearing would need to take place. While we're on this topic, though, I guess something that the commission needs to consider is, we don't have an agreement right now to extend the timeframes. And we don't, again, I'm just, looking at facts. We don't know if that agreement would come to fruition even a week from Tuesday or next Tuesday. So I guess there needs to be a discussion on does this public hearing, and maybe this is something for Kara, if the public hearing was moved to next Tuesday, is that still meeting? I'm sorry, I'm being very inarticulate. If we were to move the public hearing for this designation to next Tuesday, and there was not agreement to extend the timelines, would the designation still meet the shot clock deadline under the ordinance?
We could do that. I've had conversations with staff from the mayor's office and city council's office about doing that. We could do it on May 18th. And still meet the shot clock requirements, or the 90-day deadline for everyone who's listening. We could do that. However, because it's a holy Jewish holiday, the applicants wouldn't be present. Which is why we're holding it today.
And so, Kelly, I think you see the concern here is I guess ideally you would probably want to continue the public hearing to the same day that the time extension matter would be on your agenda. Assuming that the time extension is not agreed upon, then you could go forward with the public hearing. Is that making sense?
Could you then, on May 18th, if there is no agreement between the parties, or if there is an agreement between the parties, could it be continued again?
Yes, it can be
Okay.
continued again, but what I'm hearing is if there is no agreement, that May 18th day may not work to hold the designation hearing.
Correct. That's why we had a special meeting date for today and not, that's why we didn't have it next week to begin with. But it sounds to me like we do have an agreement. We may need some formality of signatures being provided, but it sounds like we do have written agreement amongst owners and applicants that CARE has received with an agreed upon date for an extension. So I guess I'm wondering, since we have that already, is it really a concern for us to continue this?
I would not be concerned on that. I feel like I've spoken with both parties and they both seem genuine in wanting to continue the conversation, and think that there is a possible solution to achieve that sort of win-win that we're always looking for. And Adam, you can tell me if we could do this, if we wanted to promote the applicants and the owner and the owner's representatives to panelists, if you wanted to talk to them. I don't know if we can do that at this point in the meeting.
Or if we want to start the public hearing and promote them, and that way the commission can ask those questions. Would that ease some of the concern, Adam?
Yeah, I don't have a concern about that. I think if you were talking strictly procedural matters, you wouldn't need to open the public hearing.
Okay.
Conversely, I think it would be fine to open the public hearing because if you do wish to continue, it's going to have to be opened anyway. So regardless of how you want to proceed.
Okay. And one more question about this public hearing before I open it. So would we also have to open up for public comments since we're not actually doing the presentation portion today?
No.
Okay. So since we're looking at continuing it and we're just having discussions, the public comments will come at a later date.
Correct.
Okay.
Assuming you did continue, you can proceed
Sure.
with the hearing today if you wanted to.
Sure. I just want to make sure that anyone who's on the line is hearing this so that they're not frustrated if they wanted to make a comment. Okay, well, then I think it sounds like it may be best to just open the public hearing and then we can continue these discussions and see if the commission agrees on a continuation and see how the applicants and owners feel about this. So I will go ahead and formally open the public hearing for 2021L-002 at 1565 Winona Court. So now that the public hearing is open, I believe the owners representatives and applicants have been promoted. Maybe if we start with the applicants, if you would like to, or Kara, did you have something to add?
I'm still promoting, sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
promoted the wrong person, so give me one moment.
Gotcha.
Between Ben and I to make sure we get everyone promoted. And when they promote, you kind of you lose a bit of hearing. So let me do that, I apologize.
Well, while you're doing that, then maybe it's best if us commissioners discuss. So do you all feel like you would be open to a continuation, knowing that the owners and the applicants are interested in finding a win-win solution?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think that would be the best.
Okay.
I support that.
I just wanted to confirm before we put the kibosh on doing presentations. So if we're all in agreement, just some nodding heads would be great. Yes, if you agree. Okay. Then let's go ahead and talk with the applicants and owners. You can unmute yourself, and just to confirm, as you heard our discussion, Kara shared with us that she's received notice from both of you that you'd like to continue discussions, and just to make sure that that is going to happen and we don't have any problems with the extension. Can you confirm that for us?
Yes, I can confirm that.
Okay.
And
Do
I
we
think,
need introductions?
yeah, we need introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to know who you are.
Yes.
Okay.
And what you represent.
Okay.
Daniel, if you could start.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Stoltz. I'm the owner of 1565 Winona Court.
Thank you,
Nice to
Daniel.
meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
Yep.
And Pamela, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm one of the 3 Denver residents, and I live at 1571 Winona Court, next to Daniel's house.
Great. And you agree that you would like to continue conversations and an
Yes, I would.
extension?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Pamela. Steve?
Hi, my name is Steve Gilman. I represent the owner, Oracle and Associates, as its legal counsel. And yes, we'd like to continue with negotiations.
Great. Okay. And who else do we have on the line?
We got Esther and Fievel, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm Esther Warshaw. I live at 1566 Winona Court. I've lived here since 1965, right across the street from 1560. I'm at 1566, across the street from 1565.
Great.
And, your question was, do I agree to continue? Yes, I do.
Thank you, Esther. And Fievel?
Yes, I agree as well. I don't see that's why I have a video connection, but I'm not surprised that I didn't get promoted. I've been trying to get promoted for years.
All right. Well, it sounds like there's agreement verbally here amongst everyone to continue this application so that you can continue conversations. So with that, Adam, is there anything else that you think we need in order to move forward?
I think it would be beneficial for the commission to know what the earliest time a designation hearing can take place, because again, and this is not casting aspersions at anyone, but until there's formal action, there really is no extension of the time frames. And so we would need to know, assuming there is no agreement, when the earliest this hearing could take place.
Kara, can you?
Yeah, so in order to meet the deadline, May 18th is the last day that we can hold the public hearing. I realize that would be an issue for the applicants to be present at, physically present at. We could, perhaps Adam could say we could hold a special meeting. The earliest it could be would be Friday. Or if the applicants are confident that this agreement would go through, if they would be okay with continuing to May 18th with the understanding that at the May 18th meeting, the LPC could formally vote on the extension of the timeline. And that basically, as both the owners and the applicants have already agreed to it, and it requires the mutual consent of the owners, the applicants, and the LPC to extend the deadline, that if the applicants are okay with that and they trust the system, then we could have the extension on May 18th, as well as continuing the public hearing to May 18th. And I see Fievel has a question as one of the applicants.
I don't know if this is a radical idea or how long this meeting is going to continue, but since we emailed you with a request for, I'm not sure the technical term, a continuance, I could take that email and in a few minutes get 3 signatures on it, scan it, and send it to you while everybody's still here online, if that would make everything official rather than superficial.
Adam, would that suffice? Or since, well, we would also need the owner's signature as well, right? Is that?
The issue is the commission cannot take action on this item today. I guess a question for everybody is, an emergency meeting could be called on with just 2 days notice. Would it be possible, and this is going to take coordination of commission members as well, could an emergency meeting be held this Friday and the designation hearing be postponed to this Friday? If an agreement is reached that Friday, then the designation hearing could be further continued. And if an agreement is not reached on Friday, then the hearing could be held on that Friday as well. Again, this would take some coordination and whatnot from applicants, owners, and commission members.
Since the applicants are confident about making this, I mean, I guess I'm just wondering if you're comfortable with it, can we just continue it until Tuesday's meeting, knowing that you're not going to be present, but knowing that the commission will continue it?
Again, that's fine. My concern is if we come to the Tuesday meeting and there is no agreement, and again, I'm not trying to cast aspersions at anyone, but we just don't have that agreement formally right now. And the applicants are not able to meet a designation hearing on that Tuesday, then we're running into issues with the shot clock designation.
Okay. Pamela, you have your hand raised.
I agree with your attorney 100%. I think it should be on Friday.
Okay. Yeah, Erica.
I'm just curious, when it is, so May 18th is the 90-day deadline.
It's that's a confusing thing. So the 90-day deadline is the time period from when a designation application is submitted to the time period in which city council would vote on it, and the mayor, if it was approved, the mayor would sign it and it becomes the effective date. The effective date has to occur within those 90 days. So the 90 days is June 28th, I believe. And so we have dates on city council schedules, and the latest we can hold the LPC hearing in order to meet our city council schedules is May 18th.
Okay. The reason why I asked was just to see if we could call an emergency meeting on May 18th if we don't have an agreement in hand.
Gotcha, but it would be too late to call an emergency meeting after the 18th to meet the schedule, right? Okay. So so if we were to call an emergency meeting this Friday, would the commissioners be available? I guess we need to know that if we're going to have a meeting. So Erica, let's start with you.
Yes, I could be available. I guess I just want to clarify that we are definitely calling an emergency meeting, whether the agreement is in hand or not by that date, so that we can then vote officially on the time extension. Is that correct? So it won't become an agenda item on the May 18th agenda.
That's correct. So it would be an emergency meeting to approve the extension if that happens, or do the public hearing if there's no agreement. Is that correct, Adam?
Correct.
Good.
That's just the thought right now. I think right now we're seeing if there would be availability on that Friday.
Okay.
Yes, so I would be,
Okay. Anne, would you be available? Oh, poor timing. Bless you. You're on mute.
Can you describe again how long this meeting is going to take place? This is just getting, yeah.
So that's a good question. If the continuation or extension is agreed upon, then I think it'll be a fairly quick meeting. If it is not agreed upon and we have to hold the public hearing, obviously we're not sure how long that's going to last, but it depends on the number of public comments we receive and how long the deliberation would take. So that would not be a very quick endeavor. But it's hard to say how long that would take. Anne, do you think you would be available on Friday?
I think for something that open-ended, no.
Okay. Gary?
Yes.
Brad?
Yeah, it looks like I have some availability at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
We can, yeah, start it then.
Erin, how about you?
Yes, I'm available.
Thanks, Erin. Julie?
I'm not available in the morning. I have to be at a job site. I do have a meeting at 1 o'clock, but I'll be happy not to attend that meeting at 1 o'clock. So
So it sounds like we could have 5 to 6 of us present, and so that's enough for a quorum. And we don't have Graham on the line, so there's potential that he may be available as well. So it sounds like we have enough to make a quorum of commissioners. Do all 3 applicants have availability at 1 o'clock this Friday, the 14th?
I do.
Thank you, Pamela. Esther? I'm sorry, you're on mute. Still on mute. There we go.
Question is first, exactly what is going to transpire at this meeting?
Sure. So the meeting would be held so that if you all have an agreement to extend the deadline, then we'll go ahead and make a formal motion to extend it, because we can't do that today since it wasn't listed on our meeting agenda. Now, if that agreement is not reached, then we will hold the public hearing.
I was hold a public hearing as you were to do today.
Yes. Only if the agreement is not reached.
Agreement, yeah, but there should be an agreement.
Yes, in theory, there should be.
Well, it's coming from the 3 applicants, right?
From the 3 applicants and the owners.
And the owners.
Mm-hmm. So would you be available this Friday at 1 o'clock?
I would be available. I would just appreciate it that we're not very long.
Yeah.
An hour or so.
Okay.
Because that is the eve of the Sabbath, and I'm busy preparing meals for the Sabbath.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. And Fievel?
Yes, I'll be available, and I want to thank you all for anguishing over this and struggling to make it happen for us. Most grateful. I didn't understand it all, but I could tell it wasn't easy.
Thank you. Daniel, are you available?
I can be available.
Okay, thank you. And Steve?
Yes.
Great.
Marvelous.
All right. So I think that we're all in agreement that we'll have a special meeting this Friday at 1 o'clock. That's the 14th. So Adam, is the next step that we need to make a motion to continue this until the 14th?
Correct. To continue this public hearing until I believe everyone was good with 1 p.m. on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that would be the motion.
Okay.
Motion to continue.
And we don't need a separate motion to set a special meeting?
No. Let me double
It can all
check,
be
but I
one,
don't believe so.
one motion.
Well, no, that would just be. Well, no, you're correct. Let me double check.
Every now and again, I do that. And while Adam's checking that, do I need to close the public hearing for us to move in and make a motion?
No, actually, you will leave it open.
Okay, I'll leave it open.
So why don't you vote on that? And actually, it looks like your bylaws allow the chair to call the emergency meeting, and then staff will need to provide the 2-day written notice. So let's vote on the motion to continue. Get
Okay.
that out of the way.
Okay, so would someone like to make a motion to continue this to Friday at 1 o'clock?
Madam Chair, I can make the motion.
Thanks, Brad.
I move to continue application number 2020 L-002-1565 Winona Court to May 14th at 1 p.m.
Great, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Erin. All right, I will call for the vote. Brad,
Aye.
Erin,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Erica,
Aye.
Anne,
Aye.
Kelly, aye. All right, so we have a unanimous vote and the motion passes. Then Adam, did you say, so you said that the chair has the authority to make a special meeting. Do I need to voice that, or do I do that through email with Landmark staff?
I would voice that now. Just say that you're
Okay.
calling an emergency meeting for this Friday at 1 p.m.
Gotcha. All right. Well, then I will call an emergency meeting for this Friday, which is May 14th, 2021 at 1 o'clock p.m. And I really appreciate everyone staying on the line. I know that was a little confusing, and it was just a new endeavor for us. So thank you for your time.
Can I apologize. Can I request just a point of clarification here?
Sure.
When it comes to our agreement, we, as the owners, and then the applicants had separately said that we agreed to the pause with the deadline of October 8th. Do we all need to sign one document, or can we sign our email and the applicant sign their email? We want to make sure this is procedurally accurate, so Friday comes and this can be quick on Friday.
I would say on Friday, if the owner is here, he can just voice that orally. And it looks like the designation applicants will also be here on Friday, so they can voice that orally as well. And then everyone can be in agreement on what that date is, and the commission can agree. I would say you really only need that writing if a party was not going to be present for that meeting.
Can we just get a document in writing and submit it to you guys and not have to show up on Friday? Or would you like all of us to attend?
I'd say that's really up to each party. But again, assuming there is no agreement reached on Friday, then the designation hearing would proceed.
So Adam, if Daniel signs an email and the three applicants sign an email all in the same email, different, two different documents, and provide those to Kara, then none of them need to be here on Friday. Potentially.
It would be their choice not to be here. The writing could stand in for them. Okay. Correct.
So perhaps we could recommend that you all submit that to Kara in advance, so that everyone feels much more comfortable about what happens on Friday. Is that acceptable, Adam? Just
it's acceptable,
acceptable.
But again, the commission hasn't acted on this yet.
Understood.
I'm not questioning anyone's honesty here. It's just that we're not we haven't acted officially.
Understood.
Steve, does that answer your question?
Yes, I'm just trying to get certainty here. And so
Sure.
that everybody feels comfortable for what to expect on Friday. So that's
Yeah.
the only reason I'm inquiring.
Understood.
But just to clarify, forgive the repetition, if we all sign these documents and don't show up, is there anything that could transpire in our absence that would be to anyone's detriment?
Yes, the commission could vote to not support extension.
Uh-huh.
It's highly unlikely, but there are three parties that have to vote, or three parties that have to agree, and the third party being the LPC.
And you've heard what we all think today, but we have not ruled officially, as Adam stated. So based on our discussion today, it sounds like everybody has the best intentions, but legally it would be, in your best interest to show up just in case something did not work out.
Gotcha.
Okay. So it sounds like we're all understanding this. I know it was a little confusing. Thank you for your time. And hopefully we can all meet quickly on Friday to allow you more time to pursue discussions. Okay. So I'm going to close the public hearing. No?
You're not going to close a public hearing. You've already continued it.
But I had to open it.
You open it and then you open it now and then you close it on the day that the public hearing happens.
Oh.
It's a two-part.
Okay.
It's open indefinitely until that agreement, and then it happens again in October or whatever.
I'm sorry. Interesting.
You can close the meeting.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Never came across this before. So I will close the Landmark Preservation Commission meeting for today.
Thank you
all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.